Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to G Bear's Off-Grid Ways, a homestead in the desert. And boy, did I have a nice day today. It's beautiful. It was almost 80 degrees today. Almost. Just a couple of degrees off. But just a light breeze, no heavy winds or anything like that. And it's still like that, just a little bit of movement on the flag. Just beautiful. So what did I do? Well, I got the sealant on my tote-cuzzi, and I also cleaned it all out. And we'll go up here. I got my ladder in because I had to go down inside there and do a little bit of cleaning with my wet vac and a brush. And not ready to fill it yet because I'm thinking I might put air jets around three sides. That side, this side, and this side. I don't need one behind the ladder. But I've got an air pump from an old air mattress pump that plugs into a cigarette lighter in the car. And of course, I don't use that anymore. The air mattresses I have for camping have the pump built into them. So I was thinking if I set that thing up with some half-inch PVC going around here, just like I got for the filter jet, and I could tie that right into the same battery that goes with this solar panel, and put the switch right there by the box, so I'll have both the pump switch and the air switch side by side, where I can just reach them when I'm inside the Totakuzi. I'm looking for my plastic trim piece that goes in there too, and I also need a can of foam to foam these corners that are got a little gap in them. So I'll get to that. No big deal. Well, there's my broom that I had for doing some scrubbing down in there. But yeah, this whole thing now, this whole deck, inside and out, is all coated. And I didn't use Varathane, and I didn't use Spar Varnish, or anything like that. So what did I use? I used this product. And I knew the inventor of this product, and he was marketing this about the same time I was marketing my invention, and we met up at one point, and he gave me some to try, and I liked it. So I've used it over the years, and this was the last 5 gallons that I had bought a long time ago, and I'm surprised that it's still good because I did open it and use some out of it. Now, the one thing that you need to know about this stuff, okay, if you put this on anything and it soaks in, there's nothing in the world that will take it off. You can't take it off or take it out of that product. It's there forever. Okay, so don't put this on something and think, well, if it doesn't work, I can wash it off and go again. Nope, doesn't work that way. So anyway, here's the information on it. And I don't know if this information down here is any good anymore, but I did look on the internet, and they have a website on the internet. He might have sold this or licensed it to somebody. It's https / miraclecoverusa.com. I can put that down in the comment section, or I'll answer it to anybody's comment who wants to know the information on it. Now, this stuff is really something else. I mean, and he's got a bunch of other products now. He's got the heavy duty, the plus, all of that stuff. The marine, it's got twice the amount of solids in it that this does. And I heard a story that fishing boats up in Washington State had a problem was that they would the wood would dry out in dry dock for the winters, and it would shrink. And then when they put them back in the water, the boats leaked like crazy, and they had to run the bilge pumps constantly to try to keep the boat afloat. So he said, well, I can go up there and coat it with this stuff. Well, the marine part of this stuff, it says marine miracle cover. And he says, I'll coat him with that and you'll be fine. And apparently it worked. So he made a lot of money off of that, saving guys all that trouble of their boats and sinking and filling up with water and taking time off from fishing because they had to run the bilge pumps and clean the water out of the boats. So anyway, I got this bottle of water here that I was drinking earlier, and I'm going to show you. It doesn't look like there's anything on here, right? That's because the stuff is totally clear. But watch this. Look at that. Beads up like a waxed car. And you can see right through it, and you can see that it's not soaking into the wood at all. And this is one coat. I only put one coat on here. Now if I go like this, the water's gone. It doesn't soak into the wood. The stuff is amazing, I'm telling you. And I'm not trying to sell it for him. I'm not getting any kickback from him. I haven't talked to this guy since the early 2000s. I don't even know if he's still alive, if he's still running the business, or what. But if anybody does make contact and find out, let me know. Leave a comment for me. I'd be interested to know. Anyway, that was one thing I did. Then I had a couple of cracks in one of the waterers for the chickens. And I said, well, I'm going to try. I got out my hot glue gun, and I hot glued the cracks in it because it wouldn't hold water because it was letting air in the top, and the water just kept running out of them. So I sealed it with the hot glue and filled them up with water, and now they've got extra water in there, so that's a good thing. That saves me from running out there one other time. By the way, I did install that miracle cover on everything here using this HVLP sprayer. And I bought this years and years and years and years and years ago. I mean, lots of years ago, from Harbor Freight Tools. I paid $54, I think it was, for the unit. And I've been using this thing ever since, and it still works like new. Well, I did have about 4 of these when I was running my construction company, and we would go in and paint doors and things like that, and put a mirror finish of paint on interior doors. And people were amazed at the finish that came out. Whether it was oil-based or water-based paints, it didn't matter. This HVLP sprayer was the best thing ever, and it's so easy to clean up. It takes less than 5 minutes to clean it after you're done using it and move on down the road. But, of course, the guys that work for me worked a little overtime a couple of days, and they got back. They didn't feel like cleaning the painters, so they left them overnight figuring they'll do them first thing in the morning. Well, guess what? First thing in the morning, we were off to another job. We weren't going back to the paint job. We already did that. So they didn't have time to clean them. So he sat there again in the summertime in a hot shop, and it baked on and through the insides, and it just wasn't worth fixing them. So I just kept this one brand new that I had for myself. This is for my personal use. I wouldn't let them use this thing. And boy, this thing has been going ever since. I really do love it. Anyway, I got that down. 77 degrees I saw was the high today. And it was just a wonderful day. I mean, this is perfect weather. I mean, really perfect weather. I filled up the bird bath over there because when I was cleaning this, I ran this hose across and I was watering my mulberry trees, And no need wasting the water, right? Gives the water trees. So you can see that they've got all dark spots around the bottom from being watered down. And they're liking it. They're liking the spring. I'll take you over to this one real quick and show you. It's already got leaves popping out. Look at that. Yeah. So spring is in the air with every sight and every sound. Yeah. Yeah, I got some fresh growth coming up out of the bottom there and everything. So they're all like this. Well, that big one over there just got buds right now. It doesn't have any leaves showing. This one, I don't think this one will ever make it. For some reason, it just does not like growing there. But I watered it anyway just to see. And the one on the other side of the chicken coop doing just fine. And there's the girls all come to see me when I come down here. Yep, I want to get some of this work done, but money and materials are holding things up, so I have to take it as needed. And that's why I did the decking job on here. And also, they're saying that by next weekend, we should see temperatures in the mid to upper 80s out here. So if that happens, I want this thing full, because I'll be able to sit in that thing at mid to upper 80s. It'd be beautiful. And I'm thinking what I might do is I might get either a piece of hard plastic or soft plastic and make a frame for it that just fits right over the top of this thing. Because if I leave it open, the bugs just get in there, and they land in the water, and then they drown, and then they sink to the bottom, and just got it constantly clean. So I will definitely make sure I've got some type of a cover for it. Also, now that I've added a thicker deck on here than that little 3/4 inch piece of, actually it was 5/8 thick whiteboard, the bottom of the ladder down there no longer touches the bottom of the Totakuzi. And I want that so there's not that much stress on this PVC ladder I made. So what I will do is, I got a choice. I can either cut an inch off of those two that are mounted on the deck, because I got these little pipes underneath there that fits over so it won't slip off and fall down while you're climbing it. So I can either cut an inch off of those, but I like the way the step is just the right height when you're on the bottom step to step up and step out of the Totakuzi. So what I'll probably do is I'll get 2 1.5-inch couplers next time I'm in town, and I'll slip them on the bottoms of this, and that should give me just the right amount that I need for supporting that ladder, so that it presses down on the floor rather than stressing on the angles up there. And yeah, I painted it black today, but that's because black was the only color I had. But I think I probably will change that, because that might get a little bit hot to grab onto when the summer sun comes. So, but of course, if your hands are wet, it shouldn't be that bad. But still, you might bump up against it and go, wow, that's hot. But I did want to protect the plastic so that it doesn't deteriorate in the sun. So I just threw a quick coat of black paint, because that's what I had. And I used the pump to pump the water out of here today, and everything is working. I'll pull the filter tomorrow and clean that and get that going. And we'll have this thing all ready to jump in and relax. But anyway, that's what I have for you today. Thanks for joining me again. By the way, I'm going to make you a promise that by the end of the month, by March 31st, which is what, less than 2 weeks away or something like that, I will take you into my garden, because you haven't been there in what, 4 or 5 days now. I'll take you into my garden, and you will be amazed at the progress in there. And all I've been doing is going in and fertilizing and watering and things like that. Making sure that my seed starts have all been watered and stay damp during the day, because it does get pretty warm. But you're going to be amazed from the last video how the garden is pretty bare, but there was a few things that were starting to green up. You'll be amazed at how much I have achieved by the end of this month. So stay tuned for that, everybody. Anybody can guess what it is. By the way, I got a new game coming for a giveaway too, and the game is going to be a guessing game. And what I'm going to do is maybe on one of the posts down there on the garden house, I'm going to put a little swivel board on there that I can lift up and down, and underneath it I'm going to write a number, and the number will be between a certain number and another certain number, and then whoever can guess that number right on the bat as fast as they've guessed it, they win the prize. So we won't be going 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks. You guess the number and that's it. But there'll only be one guess per day per video. So you can't just keep on guessing all day long. You can only put one guess in each day. How's that sound, everybody? Sound like fun? Let's do it. This is G Bear signing off.